I originally came from software. I was already, when I was 19 years old, I was creating FedEx's intranet.
Wow.
And then, but Netscape enterprise server, I think even before your time.
Even before my time, yeah. You've a few more grays than me, but only one or two.
Just a few. And then I got into the software world, mostly in the US. And then I decided when I turned 30, more or less, that I wanted to do real things. So I ended up building homes for low-income people in Brazil.
Wow.
I did that almost for a decade, and then I realized how much I missed software. In reality, I miss software because in software you don't have to do anything real, and you don't have to actually build something.
It's only the typing.
And then you actually get to meet with a whole bunch of very smart people. And so I came back to software just about 4 years ago. Yeah.
Cool.
So that's more or less the story. I studied finance, marketing, industrial engineering, computer information systems, and then informally I studied architecture, film, and history. Yeah, Sheetgo actually began in 2009. In that other business that I had in real estate, was building about 3,000 homes, and I need to manage all of that information.
Oh, interesting. And you were using G Suite?
And I was using G Suite before it was called G Suite.
Yeah, Google Apps probably?
Google Docs. And then I remember I hired my first technology person, and they wanted to build out something with some programming. And I said, no, I think we really should try to get these information together and be able to connect it up. And
within the actual application itself within G Suite.
Yeah, exactly. And then it turned out we ended up building out an entire ERP system, management system.
By accident. I like
by
that.
accident. And then
that's what happens when nerds run companies.
That's true. And then the iPad came out. In fact, I had a friend make the line in the US to bring me the iPad to where I was living, so then I could actually have dashboards in my iPad that told me what's going on in construction, in sales, in finance, and because you have a lot of remote teams when you're working in construction.
Sure, yeah.
And had this whole thing working, and then Google got a hand of it, and they asked me to go to the headquarters January 2010, and they said they had never seen anyone do an entire ERP using Google Docs.
Amazing.
And then they asked me if we could work something like that, and I mean, you need, and that's why I was mentioning before. I mean, the companies like yourselves and other kind of partners of Google and other technology partners that can understand what's actually going on in the organizations. And that can actually go through that change management and call it the names that needed to be called, right? Nowadays it's called digital transformation, and tomorrow it'll be called something else, but you guys know that. And then on the other side, we've got big geeks that were doing these products, and we don't understand sometimes all those things. Yeah, I think it almost what anything spreadsheets can do, right? So you can solve things around inventory management, cash flows, invoicing, sales, marketing, information. So you basically can. Information normally is living in many places. Yeah,
it's siloed, and
you're siloed. Exactly.
You guys are trying to be that connector, I suppose.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I feel like I feel somebody put it. A friend of mine the other day put it in really good terms, like you did, which is data kind of lives by itself. It's trapped. That's what he said. A couple Guinness and. The other day, he says,
how do we free it?
I couldn't believe. I thought I was going to be talking about music, and he ended up speaking about spreadsheets.
Beer with you sounds really exciting.
I know, right? So it's funny that information is trapped. We take the trap out of that, but even more important, instead of having to copy paste information, which is extremely dangerous because you cannot really govern that. You have one source of truth, but you can allow the information to just fly freely, yet still be able to govern it. And that's kind of the beauty of it. the difficulty of it is letting people know, okay, what do I do with that, right?
Yeah.
So
that sounds great, but like in actionable terms,
exactly.
in the real world or in my business, what does that look like?
Right.
Which is the hard part.
It is the hard part. So what we try to communicate better and better are case studies of what we're doing in every department, from HR to finance to marketing, sales. It's do-it-yourself kind of product. But we are finding more and more that some hand-holding is necessary, either from our very light team, very technical team, or through partners. And so pretty much for everything. We have clients, small, medium businesses using it, schools, universities, and then all the way to large companies managing finance or marketing or sales across the world on that. So you think about it, and it's data related and it's office related, and we've seen it. We do see that in small, medium businesses, it tends to be more executive level people trying to garnish information or distribute information. At large companies, it tends to be analysts that are supposed to be reporting information.
Right, and they report it maybe back up to the execs in the big companies.
And once you connect all that up, all that is automated. So we've seen from Salesforce implementations that were supposed to be taking cost up 1.5, 2 million, that instead they use Sheetgo at a fraction of that to all kinds of industries. So what we do see, however, is that it has to be organizations that have already gone through that concept of collaboration and cloud. That's already institutionalized.
Yes.
They already have gone through that migration, if they had to go through the migration, and they're thinking of that. Some people call it last mile. Just that. Well, what do I do now? Now that
I've got tons of data in the cloud, but I can't get value. How am I getting that extra value from it?
If we have to explain about collaboration or cloud, we realize that we don't know how to talk to them. We realize that the most important part of technology is that it has to be easy to work with change. So we, some folks have compared us to RPA, process automation. And I think what we want to make sure is that if people automate a process with Sheetgo, that process is going to change. It better be easy, and that people are going to change jobs. We don't want people to be, back then you had these people that were the owners of a macro in Excel, and you couldn't replace them. So that's exactly what we don't want that to happen. People change. People need to feel that they're important, but that they're not completely. The company is not completely dependent on
fall
that person.
apart if they.
And I think it's not good for anybody. So the idea here is that the technologies that we're all creating today needs to very much go in the line of, hey, it's fast, it's easy to change, because already change in itself.
Flexible, has to be flexible, as you say.
Be hard, right? So I think we're going towards a really good kind of dynamic in the workspace nowadays.